That's exactly how you start a show. Hey, everybody, it's Falling to the Top, Season 1, Episode 14. I'm Genetic Marvel. I'm your host. We're talking about people who are full of shit. In all honesty, I feel like it's a lot of people in a lot of places just talk mad smack, but we're trying to differentiate what the difference is between advertising versus just y'all full of shit. So sit back, relax, feel free to comment. Everything's live, and let's get things started.
One, two, three. One, two, three. Let's go.
Yo.
What up?
Happy gentlemen. Yeah. So this week, crazy things. Like I feel like it's hard to say this week crazy things happen when it's like every week crazy things have happened. And guess what? More craziness, you know? So it turns out the CDC was buying our data to track people's use of liquor stores and dispensaries and all sorts of facilities, grocery stores during the pandemic, which they have more often than not said, no, we would never track what you're doing. How dare you think that we would betray your trust? And that got me to thinking is what constitutes a lie, right? I had a friend in school who said there are only two lies I say, and that's I won't come in your mouth and the check is in the mail. And I'm like, those are fair, right? But like what is fair? Like we know there's a lot of clickbait, and one of the things Marco and I were discussing before we went on air was specifically like they'll be like, oh, you can't even go to this place, and you're like, all right, I'll click on that, and then you're going, oh, top 10 places that are hard to get to, and traveling takes a long time. You're like, that's not what I clicked on, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, fucking hate it. Oh my god, it's like we were talking about. The best example of that is Loch Ness. There's always somebody caught Nessie. Always we got proof this Nessie.
Every time.
Yeah. And at the end of the fucking show, it's just another idiot who said, yeah, she was over in the loch.
Yeah. Okay. This is the frustrating part. It's you. I'm willing. There's a difference between being a wordsmith and making things more exciting than they seem, which I respect as a skill. And I personally am someone who does that kind of stuff, right? You say, I worked hard, and I'm like, you spared none of your social time for this work. It's a perspective thing, right? But a lie is a lie. And when you're not, if you don't answer the question you pose, what the hell's the point, right?
Well, I guess it all depends on the authority there. I mean, because you go to the government. The government lies to us all the time, and a lot of times it's for the security of the nation, or it's for the betterment of society, or we didn't lie. We just didn't give you all the information because it was redacted or classified.
Listen, okay, and hello to Michael Bryan. Hello, Serge. Hope everything's well, guys. Listen, that's one of the things that now they're saying how the Tic Tac aliens and stuff. They're like they may have been the hypersonic missiles being tested from the United States, and you're like, what the hell? Like, this is the thing: is why the lies? This is my question: why are we lying? Who are we lying for? Is it for ourselves, or are we, protecting the people?
Supposedly, as far as the UFO things go, there was some kind of poll or something that one of the universities did way back when. And the university said that if the mass people would know about aliens or UFOs or whatever, pretty much the United States would collapse. So I'm like,
Michael Bryan just calling it out. I was in the Air Force for 5 years. We lie all the time. Listen, the question is, though, are you lying? Because I remember hearing stories about sailors, and they would be like, you just don't talk about it. And I'm like, what are you talking? He goes, listen, you see things. It's dark. Like, it's weird when there's no wind and just darkness. Like, that messes with you a lot, right? And that's So okay, Michael Bryan says, yeah, we don't know what the fuck it was, and you're like, I can't. I would rather someone say, you know what, something, I don't know what. I'd rather that than anything else, because then, you know what, we're on the same team. If you lie to me, then we're not on the same team, right? Yeah. I think that's a reasonable thing. I think the three of us have all been lied to in our lives quite a bit. So,
fucking right. But yeah, I mean, as far as the UFO things go, or like ghost shit or anything, the paranormal, because there's just as much paranormal shit that was declassified as UFO stuff was. So I mean, like, again, why lie about it? If this house is haunted, fuck, this house is goddamn haunted. There's something else out there.
I mean, that's gonna really hurt the resale value. So you don't.
It just depends. That might make the resale value go up.
Hey, have you seen? There's a picture where it's like a for sale sign and it's like not haunted. You're like, hey, that's not something you warn about. You're kind of like, no leaks.
Only 2 families murdered in the past 12 decades.
Well, like, this
murder free since 1983.
Listen, let's like that's with it. All.
That's great, Duffy. You gotta get a clip of that. That right there is fucking a great.
Okay, I'm writing that time down. That's right around 6 minutes, and I'm telling you,
that's a Duffy classic right there.
Oh God, no, but okay, but that makes sense though, right? Like realistically, I'm a firm believer in there's a lot of shit happening that we don't understand, and my rationale is this: somebody from a long time ago.
This podcast all the time.
What?
I think that about this podcast all the time. I don't know what's happening here.
We're talking about the bullshit. Come on. People are enjoying it. So, no, but like realistically, somebody from 500 years ago, if you brought them to now, specifically now where technology has run rampant and is controlling our lives since 2012, for sure. But since that point, right, they would be like, you're all wizards. That's their assumption. You're definitely all wizards. There's no way this, like, how are you guys choose not to fly because you obviously have that power, right? Like that would be the assumption. So in the same sense, in a few hundred years, would we not see the same thing going forward? I think that stands to reason.
Well, I think the difference is that if you took someone from 100 years ago, say, or more, they would only had literature. People had the thoughts of it. Whereas in our day, we have the internet. We have movies, television shows that have showed us these crazy possible utopias or, apocalyptic worlds in the future. So if you took us to the future, if it wasn't that far advanced, you'd be like, this is disappointing. But I think we would expect something crazy.
That goes back to that old song. Who said, was it Rodney Carrington or maybe Tim? No, I think it was Tim Wilson. Where the fuck is my jetpack?
Yeah.
Like everybody got all this other shit. We grew up, we were supposed to have the flying cars and all this stuff. Like, where the fuck is my jetpack?
That was like, guy,
Where's my hoverboard?
Yeah, well, hoverboard for sure.
They banned those back when fucking Back to the Future came out.
For sure. Listen, that's the weird thing is that do you think that is just nobody's bothered with it, or do you think that that's a manipulation, or just fuck you, too bad?
It's a definite manipulation.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
But then listen, at what point is it just manipulation for the sake of expressing the power that you have? And realistically, media, politicians, the government do have authority over us. There's no question there. I feel this went very, very out to crazy town very quickly. Like we're 9 minutes in and we're right out to the crazies. Is that true? Is that Duffy? I feel like you're like, hey, what the fuck is going on here? And Marco's like, let's do it. I've been waiting for this show. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. That's Marco's path. I've been like, yeah, I've been there at 2:30 in the morning on the internet. We're just like, there's lizard people everywhere. Been there.
Okay. Yeah, so about and that doesn't take very much hallucinogenics to make them people come out either.
Okay, but at what point does someone say something where you're going, I thought you were normal. Okay, you're fucking crazy. Like for me, it's when someone jumps out, it's like, wow, the earth's flat. I'm like, you're crazy. There we go.
Well, I did a person's podcast a while ago, and it was from a couple. I won't say who, but the girl afterwards told me that she thought the Earth was flat. I thought she was joking. She was not. She was like, "No, I legitimately believe the Earth is flat." I was like, "You?"
Oh, I met a real deal flat earther, dude. It was like I challenged him and he stopped talking to me.
Yeah,
I just, she's like, "Well, what do you think? It's round like everybody else?" So I was like, I mean,
no, it's kind of oblong because of physics, things pull at the center. So
I just said, "Hey, you like the Earth?" She's like, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "I like it too. How about we just agree we both like it?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Perfect. I don't give a crap what shape it is, as long as we both agree."
Also valid. There's a short that's going around of Keanu Reeves talking to somebody. He was talking to someone's kids who had never seen The Matrix. And he explained to them that it's like a question of the reality being real versus not. And the kid is like, I don't care. You're like, what? She's like, I don't care if it's fake. Just give me the good stuff. I don't give a shit. And you're going, oh,
she got it together.
We jumped the shark. That's what happened there, boys. Ryan says, "Oh no, the Earth is hot dog shaped." Thank you, Serge. Marco's not one of them.
There is a lot, because if you listen and like I've crawled down them rabbit holes too, just to see what the hell these people were talking about in the whole flat Earth thing, because it just still I can't really wrap my head around it, but there's a lot of weird evidence out there that because we've been lied so long by different governments and shit, like it doesn't even make sense. Like there's a map of Antarctica, like the top of like before we even knew there was an Antarctica. Before any of that was mapped out, there's a fucking map that turned up, and it was pretty damn accurate. So, a lot of flat earthers like to use that as some kind of evidence. No, the only evidence that is somebody fucking lied to us. Somebody was there before us. That's it. That's the only, Now, hollow earth, that might be something different.
That's a completely different thing.
Yeah, that's totally different. You can be round and be hollow.
I mean,
this has gone totally out of control, and I dig it. That's the delusion of perspective.
Let's not dig into the core of this issue.
No. Why?
Why can't you zero?
Look, so realistically, though, that's my problem is at what point is there a level? Because look, we've all been told if people knew the truth, they would blow their mind. It would be anarchy instantly. The whole world would fall apart. The government's come out, said, hey, there are UFOs, and everyone went, okay.
Yeah, that's how fucked up the world is right now. UFOs. Yeah, we knew it. We knew about it already.
I think we've gotten to the point where we're going to assume it's baloney, right? Like, if they're going to say, yeah, there are aliens, we're going to be like, there probably aren't. I don't trust you. Whatever you say.
Yeah. Quit calling aliens. They're called immigrants. Yeah. That's what they'll get. There's somebody that starts some kind of fucking march or something. Quit calling the aliens. They're immigrants.
That's a horrible way to lay it down. If this is the Matrix, we're running the budget program like we're on the Windows 2000. Oh my God, we're beta tested.
This is Windows 98, baby. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, that was not a good time for anyone.
No.
Nah, I remember 9.5 was like an arcade game.
Oh. Remember, but that's the thing is when that came out, it was like, oh, this is going to change the future. And you're like, yeah, we didn't realize how bad of a future we were setting up for ourselves there.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea, right? Is that ultimately you have people who are, okay, we as performers do put on a show to a certain degree, right? But Marco and I were talking before you came, Duffy, and we were saying about how, like, in a story, obviously as a comedian, you will embellish certain thoughts, or you've been able to look back and say, oh, you know what, it would have been funnier if this happened, and you will tweak a story to a certain degree, right?
Of course.
And that's we are professional deceivers and embellishers. That's what we do.
We're liars, dude. That was a very pretty way of saying it.
True. But right, but at what point are we, and it's the whole idea where we've all had material taken from us, or we've seen someone do material that's very close to ours, and we'd be like, you know what? They just did it a lot better than me. I'm dropping that shit, and I wish I could have developed it, but I didn't. I didn't have the chance, right? Which happens, right? Because you can come up with a similar premise at any time, like that happens.
You're a better man than I. I've called people. I was like, dude, you heard me say that shit. What the fuck are you doing? Or you changed from sitting on the edge of your bed from sitting on a fucking sofa or on a lounge chair. You bastard.
So okay, but that's the weird part is at what point, like, I've never had somebody take my material per se, but I've heard somebody do something that I was working on as well, where I was like, they did that well. I can't. Mine wasn't there yet for me to put on display, and theirs was better. So I just dropped it. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I did a few shows with the crew that I run with this one dude. I ain't gonna put his name out there like that, but you know I don't really listen to music too much. So I listen to comedy. So I over and over and over again, same shit. You know whose bit is whose. You know. Yeah. So I did the first show with this dude, and I'm like, these jokes sound familiar. But of course, you know, I give him benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe I'm high, you know, whatever. Yeah. Second time, I'm like, nah, I just got this is on Pandora right now. What, yeah. Dude? I finally, before the third time, I fucking went and I found the comedian. He was ripping off Chris Porter. His whole set, dude. I mean, from beginning to end, fucking arm motion, like the old one from like back in the early 90s, like somewhere around there. So I don't know if he was doing a tribute or if he thought nobody would look that far back. But oh my God.
There's no such thing. Hey, if you're poor, it's not a tribute. You're a thief. That's
dude, okay? It's like the whole fucking set. I'm like,
yeah, you can't look, if you have a similar way of delivery or something, some things are going to be bearable. And you know what? And I'm like, that's fine. But if someone else did it, just do something like,
yeah,
there's no way you win by stealing other people's material. We had here in Toronto, there's a couple people who completely, you're like, that joke is from somebody in the UK. Another one, you're like, that's old Russell Peters material. It's like, because Russell Peters is from Toronto, right? It's like, yeah, he's been around here a long time. And there are guys who used to perform with him that are like, until Russell Peters found his niche, he wasn't that good. He's funny, but you're like, he had to find his thing. He did, and he took off. Good for him. But you're like, okay, so you're going to do his old material because who are you? You're just a thief. It's garbage, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you come out there, and I don't even know if they are tribute comics. I know there's tribute bands. Maybe you get away with that shit, but that's, to me, it's cheesy. Like, I listen to old comedy for like I was brought up on Red Fox, and I was brought up on Richard Pryor and Dolomite, Rudy Ray Moore, shit like that. You know, I take inspiration from them. I take kind of a little bit of style from everybody like that. But I'm damn sure not going to take one of their jokes or take their set or whatever, you know. It's the difference between inspiration and just taking their whole shit.
Well, Dennis Leary built a career on it, that started it anyways, by stealing a lot of Bill Hicks's material. And the song I'm an Asshole is based on a Louis C.K. bit that he saw Louis C.K. do.
I remember.
So, and that was the No Cure for Cancer album that really skyrocketed his career. And then after Bill Hicks died, his album that came out afterwards, Lock and Load, was atrocious because that was really Dennis's voice and thoughts because he had to write it by himself.
Well, I even found out listening to the older comics and shit, the old Southern comics, Jeff Foxworthy stole the fucking whole "You Might Be a Redneck" thing, man.
Really?
Yeah, that's an old, I forget what the hell his name is. But if you go,
was it as developed as him, or was it just a one-off that he ran with?
It was like a whole list of shit. Yeah.
Wow.
That's my.
And I've been listening to Jeff Foxworthy since I was little, man.
Me too.
Yeah. I feel like that's the hard part, is where, like, that's my biggest fear, is someone saying, "Oh, you stole that material," and I'm like, "No, I didn't." Like, I'm afraid to watch other comedians and stuff specifically because of that, right?
I just want to, because you mentioned, I just got this at a yard sale on the weekend.
Nice,
fucking beautiful.
And I
Beautiful.
Sweet.
And then I got to show you guys this. Little problematic, but
Dude, I still have three originals of his at my mom's house.
yeah, I
For
got
real?
3 more.
Ah.
And this year, all Bill Cosby.
Have you ever listened
Went
to them?
right to the discount, but
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to those stuff?
Oh yeah, I grew up listening to
The,
Bill
the
Cosby.
chicken heart and the go-kart races?
Yes, so good.
Search is nice.
So,
Ryan is waiting in the wind, asking if he should join. Whoever's watching, let us know. Should Ryan join or should Ryan stay in the
No, because
comments?
then rip off whatever the hell we just said.
No, he's already here. He's waiting, and I'm just being a dick.
okay.
Hi, Ryan. Welcome.
Hey,
Are you
Ryan.
gonna look down at your phone the whole time, or am I gonna take you off screen?
I'm just promoting the show. Just out here,
Sounds good, buddy.
letting the
Let me know
people
when
know.
you want to chime in.
Oh, one day he's gonna learn how to do that fucking green screen.
I love him to death, but sometimes you're like, "Hey, work with me. Why are you pressing buttons, cocksucker?" That's how that works. There you go. Here.
See, we had a decent flow going on. I
Yeah,
even
no,
put my
it does.
blunt out. I thought, I'm high enough for this.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna let Ryan in, and I'm gonna have to light my blunt back up.
Well, listen, and that's then we all see. Ryan likes to bring out
Emotional damage.
every time. Even Duffy's like, I need a drink. This is going to be rough. While we're going here, let's throw this. Brought to you by Exclusive Housekeeping Services. Give them a call at 216-650-7984. This month they're offering a 2-hour deep clean for $160 because we all know spring cleaning is here and it isn't going away until we get it done. Give Exclusive Housekeeping Services a call at 216-650-7984 and let them know that Eargasm Comedy sent you. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please give us a like, give us a share, even subscribe to one of our many channels. Or even better, hit us up on the Cash App or become a member of our Patreon group. We'd love the support and love to keep producing comedy for every one of you. Also brought to you by Captain Surge White Nuts, the grease cleaning, erection giving, digestion helping, stool softening, pain thinning, tick removing, super power granting holiday drink for lovers. I feel like if I had that drink, I would totally fucking sell the shit out of it. You imagine? Some sort of super elixir? It'd be great. Be like, it makes you Captain America. Captain Puerto Rico. Whatever. Same thing. This. Now he's got a black sheep.
You remembered. I love you, Dino.
Hey man, somebody pointed that out, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's how that's gonna be forever." I don't know. Yeah,
Dude,
it's,
I wore a Captain America onesie to a Puerto Rican bar, and they're all looking at me funny. I was like, "It's Captain Puerto Rico. Look at the flag."
listen. There's a Captain Canada. There's a Captain UK. Captain Britain. I think.
Yeah. Captain Carter is fucking playing Captain Britain now.
Oh, but there was actually what is his name? It's not Captain.
Braddock.
Yeah.
Braddock.
It's Psylocke's brother. God, I miss comic books. Yeah, but those are the things, right? I don't know. It's very peculiar even now. So Duffy and I, not Duffy and I'm just a fucking loser who's trying to promote the shit out of the show. On the 28th in Toronto, we're gonna have Duffy's putting out his show called Killing with Kindness, which I'm frankly terrified. I am lucky enough to have been chosen to perform, which is going to be no swearing and all complimentary, no meanness.
Nope.
And that is why I can't join.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I think I like doing stuff like that just for practice. I don't end up it doesn't ever end up well, but I mean, I take improv classes here and there, and I try to do like cancer benefits to try to keep it clean. Again, it doesn't always work out that way, but
It's a worthwhile exercise as a comedian to jump in and try that kind of stuff to try and see. Now it's hey Ryan, everyone's asking what's up with Fridays. Is there gonna be a show? We had a show last week? No. Yeah. Did we do it?
yeah, I hosted.
I just wasn't on.
Josh does. Can't steal garbage. That's fair. Thanks, Josh. I think that's agreeable. That's totally
It
true.
is.
I'm here. Bring me in. All right. What's up? Hello, Ryan.
Hello. Yes, I was outside
Take
the
the
border.
microphone out of your mouth.
I was
Jesus
I was
Christ.
outside the border of the show for what I don't know. Yes, we're doing it Friday. We've got a couple of comics signed up. I will be back hosting. Thank you, Marco, for covering. Thanks, Dino and Duffy, for covering in the past. You guys are all amazing humans. I've actually never had a joke stolen, and I'm starting to think that there might be a reason for that. Like, like I've been doing comedy quite a while, and I'm like, yeah, no one's ever taken one of my bits. I don't think that's.
No one likes touching your beds. It's
Yeah, you
common
keep your bits to yourself.
Hey.
I've always you always like the new guys are always like, oh no, I don't want to put all my best stuff out there because somebody might steal it. And I'm
maybe
like,
you need to play with your bits some more before people want to, share them.
Don't reuse the can't steal garbage one, you fucking bastard.
Listen, see, okay, I understand the perspective of keeping your good stuff close to your chest. I get that. At the same time, if you, and this was something that, what's the teacher I had in that you recommended, Duffy? At Second City,
Jim McAleese.
Jim McAleese. Okay, so he is a Canadian legend. The guy's awesome, very, very quick-witted, and you know what? He's a very good educator. Like, he always wanted to be a teacher. So in comedy, now that he had done it and he was retired, he was teaching people comedy. Great teacher, very good educator. And one of the things he even said was, "Listen, you may think you've made a killer bit. Do 10 more on the same premise. You know why? Because you have no idea what you've done. You don't. You don't know until you try it all out." And you're going, that's the thing is, if you're like, oh, I don't want to share my good stuff. Yeah, if you don't share your good stuff, you'll never move past it.
Yeah, you never have any more good stuff.
A lot of those guys that say this stuff, I'm like, bro, I don't think you even know what your good stuff is yet. Like,
this from the guy who just whined and nobody stole any of his stuff.
Why you gotta kick him while he's down, Marco?
I'm not down. I was actually looking at venues today. I'm very excited for Duffy's show, and I got some ideas on ways we can work together that we'll be announcing some point in the future.
Hey man,
I feel like Ryan is channeling his inner Shatner.
Listen, I've taken up day drinking.
It's more William Shatner. Sitting on the toilet right now.
Margaritas and tacos at noon are a thing that I've now decided that I enjoy. It's very nice. And
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what, are you trying to imitate Johnny Depp? Are you stealing Johnny Depp's joke, man? He said it on the stand. It's public record. He's like, hey, it's happy hour somewhere.
Yeah.
No, I know the actual fucking country song. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yep.
So there you go.
Listen, this trial is about to be like friggin' 24 days or something like that. If we're not allowed to use things that were used in the trial, it's gonna limit like the English vocabulary by a lot.
Well, who?
By
Amber. Give me a bump while on the stand, turd.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are going to be doing coke in front of the judges now just to be that person.
I mean, that was wild. That was, yeah.
I usually make a point after shitting my bed. Hey, man. I don't get it.
I mean, I asked the guys in the comments, but, I mean, have you guys ever had a joke stolen or... like personally, or seen it happen to somebody?
I used to have a friend of mine who used to steal experiences. Like he would swear that it was.
You told me about that Youngstown guy that like he did like a whole set.
Chris Porter, yeah, we just talked about that. It just shows you weren't watching the show, fucker.
I've had people do jokes of mine, but they asked me first.
Yeah.
That's always weird. Like,
I think that's more of a kick in the dick because you know they're gonna do it anyways.
I've also written jokes for people, like specifically for them for shows.
Well, that's totally different.
Yeah.
See, I'm torn between that whole idea because if I can, like, I have a hard time writing. Like, I've had this with Duffy where I'm like, I'll write a joke and I'm like, take it, it's yours, like, because I've developed it, but I developed it for my own voice, which causes it takes twice as long to adapt it to somebody else, right? Writing jokes is good, but stealing, it sucks. Yeah, I agree. No, you can't. That's the thing is like there is an underground economy with regards to jokes, being able to write for other people and stuff like that. Like, look, that's a real job, right? Like those roast shows have writers.
Jewish, it's usually Jewish people.
But see, for me, it's like I don't. To get me to memorize something, it's always going to be like my take on the thing, right? It's like if someone was writing for me, I would never do the joke the way they were writing it. Like it would always be like a my spin just to have me, just so I would remember it. Like I don't get how people can sit here and remember other people's material line for line.
I can't remember my own shit. That's why everything I say is damn near new.
Yeah.
Well, that's for my thing is that I'm like, I'll know the general idea of it, but I will constantly be experimenting with how it's worded, how it's organized, and all that kind of stuff back and forth, right? And then once I find like I used to record every single set I made, right? And then I would go back and be, okay, that was the one that killed. I did one joke 3 different ways in one night, and it was the middle one that was the good one. I tried a different way in the end. It was like the end of the night, and then like had progressively gotten better. I tried it again the last way and killed my set. And I'm like, God damn it. But you learn, right? What's this novel? Yeah. It's hard sometimes like-minded individuals come up with great jokes and they don't realize what they're, That's so, Michelle, thank you so much for commenting. I think it's very appreciated. We were talking about that earlier, was that like I've seen people do a bit I was working on, but I'm like, I'd only tried it once or twice and I was still kind of working it out. And I saw them do it and it was like, oh, they did it. They already did it. Like they've already manufactured the entire bit and it was way better than mine was. And I'm like, all right, well, and I'm just, okay, I just drop it and move on.
Well, then that brings up like topical comedians. Like, I mean, no offense, we've made a couple Amber Heard slappers on the shows the past couple weeks. Like, just because I have an Amber Heard joke and you have an Amber Heard joke and they're similar doesn't mean we're like ripping each other off.
No, we're talking about more of I heard your turd joke and I'm going to use your turd joke in my set. Yeah. And if anybody asks, I made that.
I can't. See, that's
sorry, go ahead.
But it's like, how do you? I mean, aside from like blatantly knowing the person did that, where do you really draw that line? Like, because Duffy could have came up with the same joke with you about Amber Turd. He really could have.
Sure.
You both could have been watching the news and had the same little crazy thought.
Well, that's like, there's been plenty of times like when you and I are together, Ryan, working on a car or whatever the hell, and we have a jacked up experience. And I'll tell you off rip, I'm using this.
Yeah.
But even so, as long as he's not saying the same thing, if he says it from his perspective or my, vice versa, then that's not ripping it off. But if he hears what I said and he's like, no, I'm using this as my shit.
Listen, Michelle, I mean, Marco would love to see you, but you're only getting the chocolates and flowers once. Like, I got to stand up for my boy here. Like, you had your shot. He was ready to go.
That was not meant for Ryan to respond to.
So beautiful that day.
Anyways, moving along. Listen, the point is this, is that at some point, like current events is current events. Okay?
Yeah.
Marco, do you want to address
the
visitor is coming to? No, why are you talking, Ryan? Shut up. God damn it.
No, we're on with the show.
Okay. So, but the whole idea is this, is like calling dibs for a shared experience is totally, that you got to respect dibs. It's like, hey, I'm writing this one. No, because we had a fucked up experience. I'm taking it. I think that's fair. You got to respect dibs, right?
But, and I discussed this with Dino on another little situation. So, sometimes just for being friends, you have to change the names or the places so the innocent doesn't get affected. So.
Sure. Oh, Ryan's butthurt every week because of the shit we say here, and half the time he doesn't even know we're talking about him. It's perfect.
I had an experience with a friend of mine named Brian and his Aunt Karen, and
No. We said no. Fucking fucking guy. But no, listen, that's a fair thing, and that's why like having a shared experience is tricky, and that's people being in a community. Fuck you, Marco. Don't do that. He asked no, so it's fair. Yeah. So Duffy, have you had somebody steal your shit?
I can't
I don't
think of
remember.
any time anyone's blatantly stolen anything that I can think of.
It's
I've had a bit that I've done, and then I've heard another comic that was like what not a big comic, but a big enough comic that had albums out in the US. And it was very similar, but my ending was different. So I was like, okay, so my bit and his was shorter, and I thought I was like at first I was like, I can't do it anymore. But then I was like, but my ending's different, and I still like the joke, even though I heard that this guy has a similar one.
Yeah. See, and this is
I'm
one
okay
of
with
those things that like doing stuff on current events is number one way harder to do very well, right? Because you have a very short window of period. And I remember one of the comics Duffy and I know Quincy Martin, who's absolutely hilarious, and we actually had him on Random Tandem. Ryan and I, we interviewed him. He has an album out, but one of the things was where he was saying to a couple of friends of his that who's the redhead one that's friends with Andy Dick, starts with a K. She's a comedian. She's no, the woman,
Kathy Griffin.
She walked. Hold on, guy. Hey, she walked on stage with this week's edition of USA Today, the magazine. Walked on, opened it, and started ripping. Dude, she did an hour of material on that week. And you're going, honestly, that's impressive. Like, that's top tier stuff, right?
Yeah.
But she was doing it and killing. Not,
she's funny. She's funny, man.
Like, I'm not a fan of her. She looks scary.
No.
But
I mean, I don't love her to death, but she's funny. She's a professional comic. She's one of the best right now, for at least for constantly writing and doing. Yeah,
I don't like her comedy at all. I never have.
That's fair though. Credit where it's more credit where credit. Like, look, Ali Wong.
Now, as far as work or the work that she puts in and her craft, that's something totally different. I can respect that.
Yeah,
you know,
not
that's
for me.
totally respectable, but
dude,
but
we went to see Ali Wong, and I'm like, listen, Ali Wong is very talented and very funny. Not my type of humor. Oh my god, that's gross. Like, my wife loved it, and I was like, oh, that's way too much for me. I could not handle it.
I hate to see what is way too much for Dino. What the fuck were they eating puppy brains?
Bro, he hangs out with us like for fun.
Guy, no, she was talking about like after having a kid and like just the crime scene that was downstairs, and I'm like, oh
fuck! If I knew people wanted to hear about that, I'll give you a guy's perspective.
No, nobody wants to hear about it.
That's a fucking nightmare.
I'm watching the crime scene unfold, bro. Like, I don't want to.
Oh my god! No, absolutely not. What in the hell? That is.
I think he's on the wrong CSI. He's on SUV and we're on CSU or whatever the fuck.
I feel like Ryan would do the crossover episode where he would go to all of the CSIs. They have to work together to get back on. Are you gonna not talk about that kind of stuff again? I'm watching the crime scene. You're an animal.
I was just feeding off of Marco. I was just.
I am not eating that crime scene.
Absolutely disgusting. Number one, ew. Number two, don't follow Marco. Absolutely, that is a recipe for disaster. If Marco goes that way, you go that way, my friend.
I'm
you
on
go the other way.
I'm on his side of the screen today. You didn't have the good sense to break us up. That's a you problem. You can't.
Yeah, I was looking at it more like me and Duffy are on the same thing here. He just put us on the bottom shelf.
Very weird.
Does that make you wait? Is this like a top shelf, bottom shelf tequila kind of thing?
That's what I thought.
You are on your own shelf, and it is dirty. It is a dirty, filthy shelf. Listen, don't make me pull these pictures up, guy.
Listen, Marco, I had some kind of. Oh my god. Oh my god! I hate you guys.
Don't make me do this, Ryan. It's only going to
Dinner.
get worse. Okay, it's only going to get worse. Oh my God.
All right, we made it 40 minutes, but I wasn't here for the first 15. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
no,
we made it. We made it to this point.
Through the fucking show, we had an actual intelligent conversation going on for a quick minute.
We're talking about flat Earths, hot dog
Aliens.
shape Earths.
We solved the economy, everything.
Yeah,
By the way, the fact that
Loch Ness. We found Loch Ness.
we were like Magic Johnson in his prime, and then you
Yeah, we got
Ryan,
AIDS.
HIV came.
before the ladies ruined his life. That's what happened.
Ryan just came in and gave it the big fuckola.
Yeah. Hey guys, I got this new thing called the HIV. You want it?
too late.
Welcome to the hive. There you go. That's all.
I went to the motherland. I got to play with all the Ebola monkeys.
Remember the salty burgers you bring up? You have HIV.
Did you guys see Doctor Strange yet?
Yeah,
No.
Was it good?
it was a
Going.
good Disney movie.
All right, it's fair.
I'm
That's
going-
good enough for
I'm
me. I'm
Going
good.
this weekend, I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, with your time machine.
disappointed.
I already got the review, man. You want me to double up reviews? That's not an important part of my life.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna trust the walking Rotten Tomato?
We
Yeah.
are looking
Yeah, I
at the
am.
fucking floating potato head. You got banned in half the country.
Listen, I'm just trying to make it super easy for Dino to put my head on something else next. Like I'm trying to help him out here. Like this is as clean as it gets. This is a good, crisp.
The way your head
Floating
is
head.
in there, it looks like it's saying cleave tard.
Listen, your mouth is gonna get put on this picture right here. That's gonna, don't
Donuts.
threaten me with a good time.
Find me the donuts.
I am buffet.
You know, the funny thing is, Ryan definitely seems like the kind of guy who'd be like, "Well, your kids don't like falafel." Like he would definitely say that shit to somebody. Where you're like, "Hey, why?" That's. I'm glad Ryan is in comedy instead of law enforcement. That's what I treasure.
I see Ryan more in buffet management.
Can't get high on your own supply, guy. You can't get high on your own supply.
That's the problem.
But you
You
think
see
it's
me
like
snorting lines of prime rib at the fucking counter.
Listen, buffet would go out of business for sure.
I literally just saw a cartoon of like a long strip of prime rib going right into his nose.
That's perfect. That's Ryan right there. Look, that was my idea, fuckers. Y'all can just saying, y'all can animate it, but at least give me the credit.
I feel like I need to learn animation just for making fun of
Shit-
Ryan. It's a
Shit
full
like that.
Yeah, well,
Listen,
listen.
there are people who will do it on Fiverr for like $5.
There are knowledge out there that we can acquire ourselves.
Yeah.
like
I don't-
normal human beings.
I don't want to supply the economy anything. I just want to take advantage and learn how to do cool shit.
Yeah,
That's what Duffy taught me how to edit, and then Ryan taught me how to edit, and now I'm doing my own stuff. Oh, that was good. I'm gonna mark that time down.
That was sexy as fuck.
Listen, I still have Duffy's at 6 minutes where he said, "What is it? No family
hot-
murder,
Yeah, dude, that's got to go to like
murder free since '83." That was
Yeah.
Duffy's Realty.
yeah.
Yeah, Duffy's Realty, murder free since '83.
Well, Duffy definitely has that realty like bus stop kind of. Hey, look at
Dude,
me.
you should have him holding up a PKE meter.
Come on.
Hey. Is your family about to get divorced? Well, let me show you the house that's going to fix all your problems. There's only been 3 murders here in the past year.
2020 Ocean Way. It's the Amityville house.
Yeah. What the fuck? Steel wraps and tacos. That's fair, man. Oh God, that's fantastic.
Yeah, dude, that's got to be the new commercial you make. It's got to be Duffy's Realty.
Hurtling towards divorce. Have I got the space for you?
Yeah.
Just came up. Murder free since '83. 1 month free utilities.
Don't mind the black water in the tubs.
Yeah. You'll never feel alone again. That's the key. You'll never feel alone again.
Single male, there's a female ghost in here who loves to rub you down while you're asleep.
Female ghosts near you. Click this ad.
Oh my God. That's fantastic. Well.
God, we went from clickbait to pimping out ghosts.
Ryan is a pervert, and he's ruined it for everyone. We had a good, meaningful conversation, and
Nice.
he came on with his filth and saying, "I'm going to eat the crime scene," which, by all means, that is horrendously too far.
You don't gnaw in the afterbirth. It's fucking gross.
Okay, you guys need to check the tape. That is not
And-
what I said.
And the cooter looks like haggis. You don't really want to mess with that either.
Ryan's the most unthreatening Russian accent ever to be produced. I love it. It's fantastic. Anyways, yeah. So if you guys want, give us your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. We're broadcasting every week. You can find me on my channel. You can check out Eargasm. We have the show that's happening on Friday. Upside Down Studios is tomorrow. Duffy, the 28th ticket sales are already going.
Yeah,
is
the
that-
link, I just made it today. I will be
Okay.
sharing it tomorrow.
Check it out, guys. Killing with Kindness in Toronto. What's the address, Stuffy?
It's at 123 Danforth. That's in downtown Toronto.
That sounds so made up. It's a real place. I swear to God. It's actually a nice restaurant.
Mandy's Bistro, run by Mandy.
Drive
Good.
off the paved road.
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen, you didn't think there were sketchy bars in Ontario, but we found one.
no, Alan's no. It's a very nice. Mandy's is really
It's the
nice.
comedy
And-
club.
Yeah, Mandy's great. So Serge, were you? I was watching SCG podcast. The Square Table Degenerates did an interview today with Tommy Chong. It was actually pretty interesting. He confirmed a whole bunch of stuff, which I'm pretty sure he was not supposed to confirm at all. So that was entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out. You know what? Give us all a subscribe, and also go subscribe to Square Table Degenerates, which is also Ohio based. Correct? Yes.
Those guys are good.
I hope they're better than your fucking accent.
I've
Yes.
been doing it all week. I don't know why. It just started.
It's because
Hey,
you got an Asian in the house, so now you're trying to be a commie, and that's racist.
Hey, here's just the friendly advice to everyone: get your prostate checked. Ryan hasn't, and now he's talking Russian. He might have brain disease. That is a scientific fact. Other things that are happening, guys. Here, check out our sponsors as well. Give them a call for that as well. Brought to you by Exclusive Housekeeping Services. Give them a call at 216-650-7984. This month they're offering a 2-hour deep clean for $160 because we all know spring cleaning is here and it isn't going away until we get it done. Give Exclusive Housekeeping Services a call at 216-650-7984 and let them know that Eargasm Comedy sent you. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please give us a like, give us a share, even subscribe to one of our many channels. Or even better, hit us up on the Cash App or become a member of our Patreon group. We'd love the support and love to keep producing comedy for every one of you. Also brought to you by Captain Surge White Nuts, the grease cleaning, erection giving, digestion helping, stool softening, pain thinning, tick removing, super power granting holiday drink for lovers. Why are you so weird, Ryan?
And back, another one with the clock behind me.
And now my background's fucked. I blame Ryan personally. Anyway, this has been Falling to the Top, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, we have clips going on. Generation Dan comes out every Thursday. Check it out. I also do clips on my channel, and Generation Dan has its own channel, also Eargasm and everywhere else. Things are happening. New shows are in the mix, and we're working on stuff. So please check it out. And anybody else want to plug anything? No? You guys good?
Yeah, if you're on Instagram, follow at Killing with Kindness Comedy.
Yeah.
You'll get updates on future shows there.
Perfect. As well, Upside Down Studios, you guys doing What the Fuck Wednesdays tomorrow?
Yep.
All right, hit up Upside Down Studios as well, and we will see you guys in a week, maybe sooner. Who knows?
1, 2,